Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. We have to listen to the previous program to understand this program because this is a mamish continuation from last week. We left off last week about skills, how we should teach children. People are looking for new ways, as Rabbi Charikov mentioned, that Elokim also as ha'odam yashar, the Eibishter made the person just do the right thing, listen to the Rabbeim, listen to Torah. Behem bikshu chazbainis Rabbim, and people are looking for new things in this world. And by the way, I got some emails from Shluchim. They asked me if there's anything from the Rebbe, everything chinuch. If there's anything from the Rebbe about chinuch, how we should teach children, how we should this one. I mean, all different things. If there's anything from the Rebbe letters. So, that's why I thought I would mention this to you today. Whoever listens to the program. So, first of all, an answer from Rabbi Chadakov, because he was, they say, a principal par excellence. In Riga, he was a principal. He had 1,000 talmidim in Torah der Cheretz, where Rabbi Mindel went in that school. It's under the sheet of Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch. He knew every child 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even though they went to a vacation or Shabbos or Yontif, he knew where they are, he knew what they're doing. He was mamish emissary mechanech. So we can listen to what he says. So I just want to repeat this, all notes from the conversations that he had with Rabbi Mindel. So first of all, he says, skills, children, that's all written. The teachers, principals, study them. And you'll see you don't need to find new ways. The most important thing Rabbi Chadikov said here is, the problem is not skills the children. He says children need skills, of course, and we know where we can get it. The mechanchim need skills. The teachers. And his point was that if a teacher or a principal care about the children, they really care, they're a dugma chayo, a living example, that's the biggest skill you can have. This is the skills. The teachers, not the children. And the same thing also, he says, goes with the parents. The parents have to know that they have to be a dugma chaya, living example. When the children see at home how the parents conduct themselves, more or less, it's not 100%, but more or less the children grow up the way they should grow up. And as I mentioned once, there was a parent, a father sitting in shul, and telling off his son, why don't you answer Omen Yehi Shmei Rabo? Maybe even gave him a patch for that. So there was another chassid sitting next to him, and he said, why are you yelling at him? Why are you patching him? Midaf schreien auf den Taten. Midaf give him a patch dem Taten, not the child. If the child would see that by the father is important Omen Yehi Shmei Rabo, the child would also answer Omen Yehi Shmei Rabo. And you have to know, a parent, he says, Chanoich lenar al pi darkoi. That's how you have to be mechanech a child. So Rabbi Charikov says that if every teacher would care about a child with an emes, then the child wouldn't rebel. This is what he answered. And then he gave a few examples. If a teacher, that's what he says there, says to the children in the class, and he does, you have to have derech eretz, respect. But he sees that he goes to Shul Shabbos and he looks at the teacher. A child sees everything, he says. And he sees that the teacher has a lack in respect. And no skill will help. Or the teacher tells him you're not supposed to speak Lashon Hara. Or the teacher tells him, he says over here, daven with a minion. And he sees that the child sees that the teacher does not daven with a minion, or talk in davening, or daven, or come late. A child comes late to class, a teacher says, why'd you come late? But if he sees that the teacher comes late, there is no respect anymore. This is the biggest skill that has to be done. They spoke more about that. And then he mentioned also the mother. He mentioned he says if a child is at home, Rabbi Chadikov Mamish, he knew exactly. When a child is at home and the telephone rings, and the mother tells the child, pick up the phone. If anybody asks if I'm home, say I am not home. So the child tells the person, my mother is not home. The child does that. Do you think, he says, that the child will ever respect his mother? This is not a dugma chaya. So this is the only thing in chinuch. It's the teachers and the principals, not the children. If you mechanech al pi darkei, they will grow up okay. So let's not look for new skills. And as I mentioned a few times, Rabbi Chadikov said, doesn't only mean that a child should honor their mother and father. He always used to say, he told me this once, honor the father that is within you and the mother that is within you. If you're a father, honor father. Behave like a father. Be a father 20. Whatever you do, you're a father or a mother. The same thing also with a teacher. Honor teacher. Behave like a teacher all the time. You're on vacation, you're a teacher. You go to shul, you're a teacher. You go shopping, you're a teacher. You are a melamed. And you care, and the child sees that. That's the best skill you can give a child. And the same thing goes also with mashpiyim, he says. A mashpiyah who fabrings, and he sees that the mashpiyah is be'emes a mashpiyah, then the bachrim will take for the mashpiyah. Here I want to say something. I want to show you something. I don't know if you can see it, but something very, very important. I heard from bachrim that were here from. They lived in the Bachim in the 40s. Now, the Bachim in 1940s, there was a Zal 770 upstairs, and then there was a Cheder Sheni, a second room. There was no shul downstairs. Everything was upstairs in the floor where Merkez is, where the Rebbe's room was, and the Rebbe. Many times, how busy the Rebbe was, he was called then the Ramash, they tell me. The Rebbe used to sit down between the Bachrim and talk to them. I mean, those days there was no telephone, there was no internet, some Bachrim come from Eretz Yisrael, some Bachrim they don't have parents. The Rebbe used to obgem zach mitzei. But you sit down, first of all, see how they're learning, and also sit down and how are you? The Rebbe made shidduchim like that. How was his well-being in Gashmias? That was very much interested in the Bachrim. And I heard from the Rabbi Goldschmidt, Schollenberg Goldschmidt, all of our Sholem, all Geshet. Also from Rabbi Yosef Goldberg Yeshiva, Refuah Shleima, Shehelter Erit. And he told me years ago that he was one of the Bachrim that was there. How the Rebbe treated the Bachrim, how the Rebbe cared, and this had an influence on the Bachrim. So, when the Rebbe sat down, so Rabbi Goldschmidt told me that the Rebbe also went to Cheder Sheni. There is a second room, small room, And many times the Rabbi used to put his foot on a chair, take out a sefer, one foot, and just flip. He flipped through the pages. He looked here, just any sefer. Sometimes he used to write in Hagos in the sefer. But Hagos, just like how a person may take out a sefer, a rishon, I don't know, maybe what kind of meforshim, and used to just flip through. Maybe it took 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is a very interesting what he told me. Now, there was a peckle, a box or a plastic bag of shemus. Shemus means holy material that is not going to be used. They have to bury it. So the Rebbe many times put in his hand in the shemus and he took out. Here is a book. This the Rabbi gave to Rabbi Mindel. This is a shemus from 40s that the Rebbe took out, and the Rebbe started to write. He took out the shemus. I don't know, and this is Kisvei Cherem. I guess as a Batal, these are all pages. Shimshin ben Rabbonim Moshe. And the Rebbe wrote, Igris or Rabbi, the Rebbe wrote Hagos on that. He started to write Hagos. Here, I don't know if you can see it. He wrote Hagos, Igris Horav, Shemus. It's unbelievable. Here, on the bottom, he read it. It took him half a minute to just, and then wrote Hagos on it. Can you imagine that the Rebbe knew exactly what it says here within a half a minute, because he wrote right away Hagos on that. All these pages he wrote Hagos, and these are come from Shemus all over here. Hagos. This is Harav Miladim Aflekes Chabad. I don't know. This is Igris Harav, and this is about whatever. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time at this now, but this is from Shemus, and there are more things that the Rebbe took out, and he started to write Poshet the Ge'oines, and that was he spent time with the Bachrim. This he gave to Rabbi Mindel. There's more things. So I just want to bring out that they appreciated the Bachrim, that the Rebbe came around and the Rebbe cared about them, and this is very important. So what I want to bring out from this program is that when a person cares about somebody, and he's a dugma chaya, of course the Rebbe was the dugma chaya, they see that he really cares. This had a big hashpah on these bachim that they told me that they were there then. And this is a lesson that we can learn out. We don't have to look for skills. Just the teachers and the principals, they have to be a dugma chaya. This is what Rabbi Chadakov was always stressing. Thank you. Mitzvah Hashem. Next week we'll continue our weekly program.